Needham football found itself in a familiar spot after week 1, but not a comfortable one. For the third straight season, the Rockets found themselves in an 0-1 hole after the first week of the season. In each of the previous 2 seasons, they also lost their second game of the season to Walpole. They were determined to change that this year, going into their home opener against the Rebels. With Walpole coming into the contest also with an 0-1 record, after a loss to Mansfield, both teams were hungry for victory to avoid the dreaded 0-2 hole. The Rockets were also looking to change recent history as their last win over the Rebels came 4 years ago. So to the highlights we go. Well, downpours early on making for a sloppy first quarter. Rockets with the ball, and this is the last play of the first. Handoff to Adari Hibberts, and it looks like he's going to go all the way here, but there's going to be a slight problem. There's a block in the back penalty against the Rockets, and there's going to be no score. So going into the second, still 0-0. We're going to jump ahead here to the midway through the second quarter. Walpole quarterback Brett Levenshie airs it out to tight end Kyle Smith for a huge gain. This is going to be the first possession of the game in opponent's territory for either side. But Needham defense tightens up here. Kevin McKenzie comes through untouched and teams with Jonah Kirker for the sack on second down. And then the Rebels are going to go for it now on 4th and long. Connie Hickey knocks down Levenshie's pass heave to the end zone. We're still 0-0 now. 2 plays later, however, miscommunication causes a Needham fumble. Rebels recover and take over deep in Rocket territory. Once again, the Needham D is called up to the task. Walpole gains nothing on 3 straight plays, then they go for it all on 4th down, but the pass is overthrown. So we go into halftime, still a scoreless tie. Move to late in the third quarter, Rebels in Needham territory again, but the defense continues to stand tall. Solid pass coverage and pass rush forces Levenshie into trouble. Kirker and John Marshall combine here for the sack. All right, so on the ensuing 3rd down, it's Marshall again, which you just saw, this time blitzing through the middle. Now we're going to go now to the early 4th. 3rd and long for the Rockets. Charlie Ogletree in the shotgun. He dials up John Andre deep down the sideline. He's going to go all the way 66 yards for the go-ahead touchdown. First touchdown of the season for Needham, and they take the first lead of the game 6-0. Walpole tries to respond in their next possession. 3rd and 7, Levenshie flushed out, hurdles one defender, but is nearly impaled by John Marshall. Levenshie would walk off and miss one play before returning to action. Then, with 25 seconds left, Joe Palmatier puts the stamp on this one by stepping in front for the clinching interception. The Rockets shut out Walpole 6-0 for their first win over the Rebels since 2013. A very big win for Needham. Next up is a rare Saturday afternoon home game as they welcome Newton North to Memorial Field on Saturday, September 23rd. That game versus the Tigers is also Senior Day. Ceremonies will begin at noon with kickoff scheduled for 1 p.m. Well, a lot has changed from 2016 for Needham field hockey. Last year, more than half the team consisted of seniors. That experience led the Rockets to their 2nd straight undefeated regular season and number 2 seeding in the Division I North playoff bracket. The program has been on a steady rise over the past 5 years, but the graduation of 13 seniors from last year's team may very well present the Rockets with their biggest challenge. The team has come out of the gates with a strong start, winning their first 5 games and outscoring their opponents 21-4. On Monday, September 18th, they were faced with their toughest task to date, hosting last year's state champions, Walpole. And we're going to go now to the highlights again. Game is scoreless, 5 minutes in, but Walpole looking to change that. They halt the Rockets' clear attempt, and Audra Toussaint skips a dribbler through traffic to open the scoring. Rebels add another goal a minute later to make it 2-0. A little over 10 minutes in, Needham tries to cut the deficit in half. Good look out front from Gracie Bruno, but she gets a piece of the defender with her stick, so the whistle goes the other way. Shortly now before the halftime, Walpole with the corner. They set up Toussaint on the far side. She sends a long shot along the turf, past Caroline O'Connor. That puts the goal in. Needham is in a 3-0 hole at the break. early on in the second half. O'Connor doing her best to keep the Rockets in this one. She makes several pad saves out front, denying multiple Walpole bids before the ball is eventually cleared. However, the Rebels are just too powerful and persistent. 4-0 the score now with about 10 minutes to go. Rebels work their way through the defense before Christine Murray knocks home the goal. Walpole tacks on a couple of more and deals Needham their first loss, 7-0. The Rockets have an extended break before their next game on September 26, when they try to bounce back against Milton.